Because of the need for resources for domestic violence, MAS-SSF collaborated with my sister house, Al-Misbah, Masjid al-Noor, and ICNA Relief to create the first domestic violence Muslim women's shelter in Sacramento County. Amanah House is a place for women to start their new life, rebuild their goal, and get the help they need until they can move forward and stand out on their feet.
MAS-SSF has received a lot of questions recently about our shelter and what the intake process and resources look like. We wanted to take a moment and answer some of the questions we most often receive. We also invite you to email or call our office with any additional questions that we missed.
Once we get a call from a client or an email, one of our team members will contact the client to do an intake to assess their need. After we assess their need, if they need a place to stay in the shelter, we call for a second intake and then in-person interview to assess how we can help them the best way possible. Amanah House is open for all women and there to help all women. After we do the interview, if we have room in the house for the client, usually it takes 2 to 4 days for the client to be moved into the house. And once the client moved in the house, they get help from the team member in their own language and build a plan with them to assist them further how they can move forward with their life.
The location of the shelter is kept a secret. It is confidential information to ensure the safety of all women and children within the shelter. The shelter availability changes from day to day. If you don't have room, the caller will still receive resources and support based on their unique situation. Young children are welcome to accompany their mothers to the shelter. For concerns regarding older children, please ask about age requirements when calling the shelter. Resources will be provided for all, and no one will be turned away. All information is confidential and will only be shared with the shelter team members supporting you and anyone you consent to provide resources. MAS-SSF maintains strict confidentiality for any domestic violence cases we received.
Not everybody on the team of Amanah House is a Muslim, but everybody is trained to understand and value the Islamic values and cultures. The shelter is there for women who have nowhere else to go, who've been through domestic violence and live in an environment that's very unsafe for them or for them and their children. Without having the Muslim shelter, these sisters or these women been living in their cars or even on the street. So the house is just a place for them to give them the peace of mind and the support and the help to rebuild their lives that have been damaged by domestic violence and start all over again. You can click on the blog down below to tell you about what is domestic violence and what is abuse.